Okay, so I am just going to take you guys through my mock powerlifting meet. I actually did this December 22nd, so yesterday as of me recording this. I try to do it as similar to a powerlifting meet as possible, except I ended up only doing 2 attempts of squat, 2 attempts of deadlift, and 3 attempts of bench. You'll see why I only did 2 attempts of squat and deadlift. Okay, so getting into my first attempt. So I have 405, uh, which is something I've hit before, and something you'll notice, not happy with the depth I hit on either of these, just like with this 435. I honestly just didn't even check the camera. I assumed my depth was good because it looked good in the mirror. That was my fault, but that 435 was tough, so I just decided to not go again. So there's 275, again, pretty easy. I've hit it before. Here is 285, and again, honestly moves very slow. So when I went for this third and final 295 attempt, I was honestly shocked that I didn't get it. Just couldn't get past that lockout. And so here is a tougher than it should have been 475. I think I was just gassed from my previous attempts. And then here is 495 for a lifetime PR, and barely got the lockout after a fight. And now here we're kind of moving into my strength progression. So here's one of my football sophomore year max cards. Here's me doing what I think is 305 for 4 reps. And I'm just kind of showing you some strength progress, and then we'll get into all my analytics a little later. Now here's me hitting what I believe is 345, possibly heavier. It's hard to see the bars on the side. And then here's me last year squatting 425, which is a lot better depth, but honestly, like that, if you look at this is RPE 10. So I think I'm still stronger now. And then again, here's that 435. Again, didn't quite hit depth, but I still think I could have. Here is me from a powerlifting meet. I think I hit about 234 pounds in this meet a few years back. And then here's me last year with a 315 touch and go with my butt off the bench, which touch and go is normally about 30 pounds easier for me. So I would still consider this 285 a more impressive max, at least for me. And then now moving to my deadlifts, here's a horrible 455 pull from about 3.5 years ago. Here's me last year attempting 495, 5 plates, and as you'll see from this video, the lockout's always been my problem. I'm hip thrusting, but just not enough apparently. And then again, here is me hitting 495 this year, yesterday. And now I'll let myself explain the title of my video. Okay, guys, what's up? So I'm in my garage slash kind of home gym that my brother uses for Olympic lifting. And it's a couple hours away from Christmas Eve, but I honestly really wanted to knock out this video. My family's sleeping inside, decided to come out here. All right, but let me explain this kind of chart and all these graphs I got going on. So if you look in the top left, I've got years lifting, big three total divided by body weight, and then another years lifting total. Don't worry about that last one, mostly just for kind of make things easier on me. So years lifting is pretty simple. So you saw earlier in the video I had that picture of all my maxes. So year 0 is just pre-lifting, basically my first time, maybe probably within the first couple months of me lifting. Again, and then my second tally is half a year of lifting, my third tally 3 years of lifting, all the way up until current, which is about 6.5 years lifting. Big three total, pretty self-explanatory, bench, squat, deadlift. If you see some of the numbers are weird, like 943, it's just because some of the years I was using a 1-rep max calculator. And then again, another weird thing is year 3, you see a spike on my big three total. That just has to do with the fact that I was really fat in high school, so my numbers were lifted, which is why I have the total divided by body weight column. Those are just big three total, obviously divided by body weight, so it's like pound for pound strength. And then I also have at the bottom, says extrapolated, which is just getting rid of that one spike for a little bit more accurate and applicable information to everyone else. But yeah, so, and then if you look at the chart on the top, the pound for pound strength progression, again, that is taking into account the total divided by body weight, which is the y-axis, and then the x-axis is years lifting, and then that dotted line is just kind of the trend line. And as you can see, I mean, just total natural 6.5 year strength progression, really slowly, nothing crazy. One little dip, again, that was just for me due to me being kind of fat. Not kind of, very fat. If you didn't check out that video, that was my first one. Go ahead and check that out. And then the bottom chart is just straight strength progression, extrapolating the year I was fat. You see this one is a lot simpler, almost exactly follows that trend line. And then as you can see, it's slow progress throughout, but even slower as the years go on. Like those last, 4 years, it's super close, which, that's the life of a natty lifter. And then if you can see those little equations, it's just something that you can kind of try out yourself. By no means is it any, indicator of these are exactly what you're going to hit, or I just thought it was kind of fun. Just using, again, my sample size isn't very big. N equals 1 is me, plus my years of lifting. So again, don't take this to heart. I just think it's kind of cool. So if you follow the y equals mx plus b format, the b, or the second number after the addition sign, is just kind of your starting either total divided by body weight at the top, or the bottom one's a little easier to follow, just your starting big three total. So for example, just had to move my camera to see that. Instead of the 655.43, you would just do your big three total. And then whatever your year's lifting is that you want to figure out, you would plug in for X. So if you want to find out how strong your big three total is going to be in 10 years, do 85.429 times 10, and then add your original big three total from when you first started lifting. And again, it's not going to be accurate. I just think it's pretty interesting. I think it'll be cool to see your own numbers. Again, I'm just kind of doing this. You can kind of see this natural strength progression. I've been naturally training for seriously about 6.5 years, but I've been in the gym for about 8. And then you can see my numbers based on how strong I get year to year, my pound for pound strength. And I just think it's pretty cool to just kind of see where you can progress year to year. And then that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you like it, I got a lot more stuff coming. Make sure you say subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Steven.Duckweiler. And I'll keep posting.